We came out game one against Garrett and really played awful. We were really struggling to find out who we were as a team. And I really challenged the seniors in particular that they need to learn how to lead. And really after that game, they really put it together. They really clicked. And I would say, we've not played perfect games by any stretch, but these guys have really been coachable. They have worked extremely hard. They've gotten better each week. I think a lot of people counted them out. I don't think that they thought that this team could get to this point again, but these kids have always believed that they could, and they work so hard and believe they go into any contest, regardless of who it is, they believe they can win. And that's just kind of the mantra of this team, and that's just kind of what makes them who they are and makes them successful.
Okay, and looking back on last week, how did this team stay composed and take down Andrean?
Just as I said, they really don't care who they're playing. This is a team that just plays unintimidated. They do their job. They play extremely hard. They're very coachable, and they do the things that we need to do as a team to be able to win games. And that's been a great testimony of the senior leadership that has really come out of that and really has taken the challenge since game one, the challenge that we gave them to step up and make plays and lead this team. And they've really taken that to heart. And I'm really proud of them because I think Andrean is a team on paper we shouldn't beat. I think most people thought that they would take us down, but it's really the heart and soul of this team to be able to come out and do what they did against a better Andrean team. But we were the better team that night, and it's just the testimony of these kids playing so hard.
And knowing that this is your guys' fourth straight state finale appearance, how does the previous experience help this team prepare?
Well, I think it takes the wow factor out. These kids have been there, and this is their fourth trip down there, so they know what to expect. And I remember our first trip down, 4 years ago was a little bit different. It was a big wow factor that you had to kind of get over and learn how to play in that arena. These guys have that. They don't have that. That newness about them that this brings. And I think that'll be to our advantage.
And I just got two more questions.
Okay.
What stands out about Lincoln, and how do you think you can exploit their weaknesses?
Well, they don't have many. They're a very good, solid football team. They're well coached. They're a team that flies to the ball. But we do have to be able to sustain our blocks. If we're going to win this ball game, we're going to have to exploit areas on their defense that we feel we can exploit and do that well. If we can't move the ball and if we have to turn to passing on every game, we're not going to win this ball game. So we're going to have to move the ball. We're going to have to sustain drives. And defensively, they have some skill on offense. They got two really good receivers and a really good back and quarterback. We have to neutralize them as best as we can and limit their ability to move down the field. If we can't do that, we're in a dogfight.
And then last question, what would it mean to this team and this school if you guys finally break through and get a win for the state title?
Yeah, it would mean a great deal to this community who have stood behind us for the last 3 years. I've had heartbreaks there at the state the last 3 years. We want to right the ship, and we want to go down there and win. And I know these guys are working hard this week. They've worked hard all season. This is a major goal. And, you try not to think about that yet. You just think about doing the job. But, if you can let yourself think about it a little bit, it can make you really excited to see if we can do that, because it would mean a lot to these kids. It would mean a lot to us coaches, and it would mean a lot to the community.